The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome back to Old Space Show. I am Brandon, and this is my co-captain of the Eagle, Jim.
Ooh, thanks. I've been promoted. Yeah, oldness, the final frontier.
This installment of Old Space Show.
Literally.
Continues our episode by episode travelogue through the second season of Space 1999, where the moon is knocked out of orbit, wandering through outer space, the population of its human-built colony hoping to stumble upon a new home. Today, we're talking about the 12th episode, the AB Chrysalis. That's kind of clever. Like a C is the word following. But anyways.
Wow, you just blew my mind. A planet on which people enter a chrysalis stage when they reach their allotted span. Reborn, they attain new heights of mental and physical perfection. But for Moonbase Alpha, the planet threatens disaster.
This one's directed by Val Guest.
Wow.
Yeah, he did right. He did one already.
Guest.
Yeah,
I know, but he made a lot of movies.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know we already talked about him in the series, but you know.
Written by Tony Barwick, who had written some episodes before. But our guest star in here for a little bit, Sarah Douglas.
Oh my goodness, Sarah Douglas.
Superman and Superman 2. She played Ursa. Yes. She's got forever, like,
the original hot goth girl from another planet.
Right. If for some reason you don't know her from that, you may know her from Conan the Destroyer. Around this time, she started in the Dan Curtis TV Dracula movie with Jack Palance.
Forget about Lara the White Worm with directed by Ken Russell.
Exactly.
Holy Moses.
The Final Battle. She was on Falcon Crest. Beastmaster 2, Through the Portal of Time, where I guess she had a reunion with Veep star Mark Singer. And to tie it into something we talked about a couple weeks ago, Puppet Master 3, Toulon's Revenge. We've had 2 Puppet Master people in here.
It's all goes back to Charles Band.
Yes, always back. But yeah, her Superman stuff, though, forever grants her geek royalty, as she appears in a lot of sci-fi TV shows and stuff throughout her career.
Yes.
So, but it was very, like, I think she's kind of, when she does appear in this episode, if I would have told you it's Sarah Douglas, would you have picked up on it?
Yes.
Would you have been like, you recognize her?
Yes. I'm sorry, but you have to realize what age I am when Superman 2 came out.
That's true.
But
okay.
Yes, I would totally know it was Sarah Douglas. Sorry.
Gotcha.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, she's not like... Yeah, all right. Fair enough. So the moon is...
I'm a special case.
Yes, the Dietz case.
Yes.
The ABC Dietz case, right? No. The AB case of Dietz. So ABCD right there. So this one, we start. The moon is moving into a region of space where explosions causing massive shockwaves occur at 12-hour intervals. As Alpha moves closer, it begins to suffer more damage and sustain more casualties. To avoid...
That's something I wanted to ask about when they get the first explosion at the very beginning of the episode. Mm-hmm. They're able to evacuate everybody off of Alpha in all right, they say it's 160 seconds to the next blast, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They got everybody off in the Eagles, in their spacesuits, off of Alpha on the other side of the moon, so the moon can block the shockwaves, so they'll be okay.
Right.
In a minute and a half.
Moon ain't that big, right? Is that what we're led to believe?
Minute and a half,
or
really.
Eagles are fast. Eagles are faster. The moon ain't that big.
And I also want to mention Alan is back.
He is.
Not only is Alan back,
big time.
He gets top billing among the smaller cast.
And
episode.
Tony does not appear in this episode. Tony does not appear in the episode. Yeah. So they evacuate the far side of the moon. The command staff, along with some medical technical crew, remain on Alpha to keep the base operational and monitor incoming data. And the shockwave hits and causing damage to all the vital systems. They get fucked. Like
it's one of those Star Trek things where they shake the camera and they throw stuff from off screen.
And you get smoke in there too, like a fog. Yeah, they throw a fog up
sparks. There's something throwing sparks over there. I don't know.
Yeah. And we get so with 12 hours for the next one, Koenig leads a mission to a planet at the heart of the shockwave to see what is causing the blast. And so they can film a separate episode while the episode we talked about last week was being filmed. Right. So this is what they're doing. If they can be stopped.
This episode is mostly just Koenig, Alan, and Maya.
It's a great team up. I'm down with this. I like this.
It's a good grouping. Also want to mention this episode shows the one map painting we're going to get for this episode at the very beginning, and then shows it over and over again of the green planet with the 6 moons sitting around it.
Yes.
And, geometric figures. So.
The black light green planet.
Every once in a while we get a good map painting on this show, so I just wanted to call that out.
Works of art. Probably inspired one of my favorite map painters, Escape from New York's James Cameron.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
He
went on to direct. He directed some stuff, but he'll always be a map painter to me.
I thought he was DP on Halloween 2 or something.
Yeah. No. So he leads this mission to see if they can see what's causing the blast and if they can be stopped before Alpha gets destroyed. They detect high energy levels on moons that surround the green planet we talked about. They decided to investigate the closest moon, that is. So they are homing in on an energy source, and they find a small installation consisting of 5 metallic structures.
Very much looking like a Yes album cover or something.
It does. Yeah, I love it. They did that last season. There was an episode they landed on a Yes album cover as well. So this is the follow-up album.
Totally.
They land in their midst, and Koenig goes out to look around, and he goes to one of the domes and is taken underground by an elevator, and he goes into a room filled with black and white globes on pedestals of varying heights.
If I can rewind just for a second, real quick. The landing, it looks like they're landing in the middle of a Christmas ornament farm, because they all look like Christmas ornaments are growing out of the ground. And then we get this weird, first-person camera from King.
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to put on the camera spacesuit now. And they're like, okay. And then Alan and Maya are watching his first person walking through, right? It's not usually the camera shot of Koenig actually is like his view. I thought it was really weird, and haven't seen that before in the show.
Yeah, it's really interesting direction there with that. Yeah, for sure. So he's in this room with the balls, and he gets struck by a bolt of energy and knocked unconscious. And then
it looks like a showroom for bowling balls.
It does.
Like there are these plexiglass stands all around at different heights. Who knows why? And the balls are all in the different stands. And it's like if I were to show off say fine luxury bowling balls, that is the way I would show.
This year, PBA tournament, we'll show you.
Look at this is the nuclear firecracker ball.
But these things move around from pedestal to pedestal, and they remind me of the ball from The Prisoner. The way they the way they filmed it felt like a lot like it was like a miniature version, like the at-home collector set version. So
they also move in slow-mo when they bounce too. Like when they come off the pedestal to bounce to go to the other pedestal, they're not in the same shot with Koenig or Allen or whatever.
No, of course not. That would
they just show the ball bouncing in slow motion, and they use that same shot a few times too.
Yeah,
I wrote slow-mo super happy fun ball.
That's what it is. But it lands near a communication thing that gives him like I call it.
Oh my God, the communication thing.
A space Sharpie is what I called it.
Yeah, right. It looks like a spirograph made out of plexiglass layers.
Yes.
And there's like a circle in the center of it, and there's a marker sitting there.
So they go through all these things with shapes, and then like Koenig ends up drawing like a solar system of like what and it points to the planet that is like Earth in that solar system, and then things like it's like, oh, hello, I now know what your language is, and it gives them air, like suitable air to breathe there because they're sick of filming them with their helmets on.
Mm.
And Conan asks to speak to someone of authority to see if he can get them to stop the shockwaves, and the probe responds that it's not possible because their masters have yet to be born.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I think what Koenig is using to scan that area is a photographic light meter.
Okay.
It looks like one, like an old, like a '60s light meter for photography.
Probably
so
is
super high tech.
I did note that I was digging the score in this one at this point in the episode.
Yeah, it's just like the planet of wah wah guitar.
Yeah, digging it.
We've landed on the planet of wah wah guitar and bongos.
So it then suggests that they leave the dome, stating they're in danger, and Maya contacts them to tell them that the energy is building to a critical level. They would go back to the Eagle, but before they could lift off, it's struck by an energy bolt, and they manage to get the circuits back online and lift off before their ship can be damaged anymore. Conan's like, hey, let's just go visit that planet. Screw these moons.
We haven't got our ass kicked enough.
Yeah, these moons are, what they are, but that planet, that'll do us in. So, and they land, and then they like
really do us in.
they land, and it like sinks down like an elevator into the surface when they land.
And it's cool that the elevator is exactly the size of the Eagle.
Perfect size, like it was perfectly.
Like it barely fit, like it just fits.
Yeah. So the voice of another probe tells them they have been taken to a place of safety. And when the Eagle comes to the rest in a subterranean cavern, the probe tells them that a suitable atmosphere has been arranged, and they leave the ship, and the probe greets them, and they find out that its masters have a unique life cycle in which they grow old, but instead of dying, enter a chrysalis and are reborn. So they learn that one of its masters has not entered chrysalis and has to speak to him. Probe sets up a chamber for them to talk to the Guardian in like a casket thing, glass, so you can see through. And the probe translates Koenig's plea to stop the next shockwave, but it's too late. The Guardian has gone senile, and he must enter his rejuvenation chamber.
Yeah.
And then Alan, he like panics and like tries to stop the Guardian from being taken out of the room, and he breaks the.
I'm gonna smash it.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch it and smash it.
That's what Alan does then.
Yeah, he breaks the seal on the casket, and then you see this like creepy looking corpse thing. Pretty cool. The probe has to seal the room so the Guardian can have the chlorine gas environment that he needs to survive, and Alan gets trapped in there, starts to suffocate. So Maya turns into one of those things she needs to turn into, and it's this. So at this point, I know,
really specific alien creature that they need to advance the plot. Yes.
I don't know where you were at vibe-wise like I was in this, but I put that I was like, Maya turns into some weird alien costume thing to save Alan, reminding us that we are indeed in a season 2 episode of Space 1999.
I wrote dollar store sleeve stack, but that's cool too.
Yes. But Maya, so she transforms. She could breathe the chlorine gas and pulls Alan out, and they get him back to the Eagle. Koenig decides to force the probe into stopping the blast by telling it that he will give the order to destroy its master's rejuvenation chamber with the laser on the Eagle if it does not comply. Forget logic, recognize desperation. I will destroy your dome if I have to.
He gets beat up by a ball.
Yes. So it stuns him to prevent him from giving that order. Alan wakes to find Maya uncertain as to how she should proceed. Alan suggests firing the laser because that's total Alan move. But Koenig wakes in time to stop her from doing it. He offers his ultimatum again, and he gets stunned again. And
just keeps getting shot.
He does. Alan tells Maya to fire, but is stopped by the voice of one of the first aliens to be reborn. Koenig orders the laser disarmed and is led by the probe to meet with its masters. With no human equivalent for the names.
I wrote follow the bouncing ball.
Yes, they did follow it. I did think
literally
the door that opened was kind of cool. It had like a weird pattern to it, how it fit together. I was like, oh, I've never seen a door like that before.
3 parts, yeah. Very impractical, but it looked cool, yeah.
Right. So they meet the masters. They have no like human equivalent for the names, so they are A and B. And if you're a Superman fanatic, B is Sarah Douglas.
And she's wearing no clothes, and she's naked and nude.
Nude.
Covered in green gas, though. So.
All right, as I said, we have some serious space babes from outer space.
Usually, when you see naked ladies behind the glass, you got to pay. But not Koenig.
Right. So the naked people and a dude will joey them later, but his name's C. But this fog, lighting, naked people, like the way I'm getting Lucio Fulci vibes from this.
Yeah, totally.
Of course, I'm liking it. So I was like,
yeah, you're all in. I did like the way this cave looked more like peanut brittle than styrofoam this time. So that was cool.
Yeah,
too.
that was
so
great.
That's some production value.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's so great. You have these like beautiful people coiffed in this dark room full of green gas, standing around naked. Talking telepathically. It was great.
Yeah. So yeah, like they have to stroke Martin Landau's ego by having A have a crush on him, telling him he's so handsome. Right. So
your judgment has blinded you because you are attracted to the human.
Yes. So he's like pleading with them, and they're like, I don't know. And they're like, we'll vote on it. And they're like, okay, yeah, I vote for, him. And then Sarah Douglas is like, nope. And they're like, well, we have to wait for another one to be born to get the tie-breaking vote. They have a brother.
Have a seat.
Yeah. And he's the guy that Alan almost killed, so he's about to be reborn again. So that process is a whole lot of who knows how long it takes. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So she's like, I doubt he's gonna vote for you guys, but we have to do it.
Yeah. You killed him and stuff. And this guy, C, looks like the dude from the Apple.
Yeah,
the bad guy from the Apple, Albie or whatever his name was.
Billy Apple.
Mr. Boogaloo's main dude.
Love that movie. You do too. I know you do.
I know. That's why I reference it.
Oh gosh. So when he emerges from the chrysalis, he's like, no, we're not doing this. No, sorry. But they're mainly invoices like this more than I'm giving them. So even with the knowledge that Alpha has now moved out of range, Koenig, declines to stay. They offer you three can stay, but we're gonna blow up your moon. So it's just gonna.
Where Koenig gives his big speech.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He does.
I even wrote it down. They go, why? And he's like, well, we're gonna go back to Alpha, even if we're gonna die with them, but we don't even have enough fuel to get back. Nothing. And they're like, well, why do you do this? Blah blah. Because loyalty is better than logic, and hope is better than despair, and creation is better than destruction.
He goes, I just wanted to tell you that, you seekers of perfection.
Yeah, perfect people.
Yes. Oh, yep. So he tells them off, and he leaves, and Maya and Alan are ready to face the uncertain future at his side.
So
and
Alpha. They're all ready to die. They're really build up the tension.
Yeah. And did you notice when there's a shot where Alan, Maya, and Koenig they're at some station, and there's a screen that has a chessboard on it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Or it looked like I was like okay, playing some chess while they're waiting. But so AB A, B, and C discuss Koenig's motivations. B and C are baffled, but A, the crushed one, seems to grasp them. So Alan manages to fly the Eagle up to the narrow elevator shaft that leads to the surface, the one that fit the Eagle perfectly, and they head toward Alpha with no real hope of ever reaching it or surviving the impending shockwave. John contacts Alpha. He tells Helena that they will not be able to make it back. He asks to be patched to the interbase system and warns the base of the gravity of the situation. During this time,
very dramatic.
I was loving that glow of that green planet. I think it shows up again here.
It looked like the NBC mystery movie opening.
Right. Yeah. So
sorry, go ahead.
He commends everybody.
Like, if anybody gets that, God love you. Go ahead.
Oh, and did you notice? Guess what? Bill Fraser's in this episode.
No.
Bill Fraser and Alan Carter episode.
Oh my God.
He's there when Tony's not too. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, and there was a moment here, just to call back to my last episode joke, when there's guys with hard hats are walking through the halls, and like, hey, you guys happen to be with the rescue team? Because it says rescue on the back of their uniforms.
We'd never know otherwise.
You guys know where I can find any rescue team people? So he commends the crew for devotion to duty since they left the Earth orbit. The shockwave comes, but to their surprise, it does not destroy their Eagle, but increases its speed enough to reach Alpha, which the shockwave passes over with minimal effect. So they did it.
Yeah, Koenig got to them.
He got to them. The human factor.
That's right.
A human decision must have been required.
Tell us of this thing called love, Earthman.
Yeah. So when they get back, Helena asks John about the alien women.
Oh, wait. No.
Oh,
you skipped over the math joke.
Oh, okay.
First, there's a joke with Maya, and we keep talking about, I know we said this on several episodes now, how they try to end each episode now with like a little joke or a little like comical stinger, right? Well, this one has a double. Oh. First, Maya is trying to explain how Cyclone math isn't base 10, and that's why she can make the calculations faster than the computer. Okay. And she tries to explain it to Koenig, and it like baffles him, and that's supposed to be funny. Like he's like tries to follow her, like she sets it up on the computer, and he's like looking at it. It confuses him. He's looking at the way a chimpanzee would look at a gyroscope or something, and then he stands up and like tries to follow Maya to catch her, and then runs into Helena. So first there's like, silly Koenig, don't you know math? And then the second one with Helena about the naked ladies in the green gas.
John asked she asked him about the alien women. She had heard from Alan that they were beautiful, naked, and green. And John starts to tell her that he could barely see them. But when pressed, tells Helena that he hadn't noticed that they were green.
Yeah.
Zing.
Neither one of them worked. So I guess they figured they couldn't get equality. They would just go with quantity.
Second season, 0 for 2. There you go. That's what we do.
Freiburger!
But Jim, I really liked this episode.
It was fun.
This was the closest they've come for me to the highs and things I enjoyed most of season 1. There's also
having to justify humanity always works if they write it well.
There's also no Tony in the episode. So is that a coincidence?
Yeah. And so it's a Big Alan episode, so.
Yeah. I without it's pinning at me right now, this is probably my favorite one of season 2 so far. Was this one. Yeah. I was digging.
Praise.
It was a lot of like, it wasn't trying to clown around a bunch. I mean, it still has season 2's goofiness in there, but like it was a lot of like, I don't know, conversational ideology stuff. Like it felt different than just like something that's on the ship. And
it had Sarah Douglas naked in it.
Exactly.
Man. I mean, you can't dismiss that.
So it starts at an 8 out of 10 right there. But there's a bit more visionary direct, like you said, the point of view camera that they had, they don't use, and it had a lot of, I don't know, it just took its time. There wasn't a whole lot, like I didn't have a whole lot of notes in this episode. It's kind of slow moving to get what it's doing, but that's kind of what season 1 did a lot. It was patient and just kind of let you soak in and deal with some of the ideology. There's, like I said, there's some goofiness here and stuff, but I kind of like what it was going for. It was very season 1 like for me. So like this was a favorite of mine of this season so far. So, and I like the Maya, Allen, and Koenig team up. That worked for me. Throw Helena in there, and boom, you're perfect. I don't know why they had to get this Tony guy, and they did just bump Allen to a more prominent character in this season.
I don't know. He must have pictures of somebody.
That's true. But yeah, we are at the halfway point now through season 2. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
That implies there may be an end.
There may be an end.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Oh well.
No more.
Okay.
So we will make it through there. Freiberger will take us to the end, right? As he always does.
I guess so.
As he always does. But until next time, Jim, that does it for another Moonbuggy adventure. Where can people keep up with you?
Well, on a weekly basis, I record a podcast with Daryl Taylor and Donnie Salvo called Nothing's On, and we've been doing it. I think we're up to almost episode 500 now. Every week we go over the week's worth of entertainment news, TV, movie news, talk about what we've watched with reviews and recaps, and read all of your emails. There are always a bunch of emails to go through, and we love you for it. So that's the Nothing's On. That's the Taylor Network of Podcast.com. You can also listen to me at hhwlod.com on the Walking Dead TV podcast. Right now we're covering Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead World Beyond. We've been going week by week since the very beginning of the very first episode of the very first Walking Dead show. So follow along with us as we recap and review. That's at hhwlod.com. All
right. And hashtag bounce your balls. And I'm on, or maybe follow your ball. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Brandon4KUHD, written work at whysoblue.com. There is more from the Brandon Peters Show this week, but until then,
Alpha out.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.